Okay, good morning, everyone. We will call to order the meeting of the Lancaster Criminal Justice Commission.
Commission members Brown.
Present.
Harris.
Present.
Hernandez, absent. Her.
Present.
McCracken.
Present.
Vice Chair Little.
Present.
Chairman Mercy.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Okay, thank you. Let's go ahead and do our Pledge of Allegiance. Commissioner Brown, would you like to lead us? Okay, we have no presentations this morning. We have the consent calendar, which consists only of approval of the minutes. Is there any objection to approving the minutes as presented? Hearing none, the minutes are approved. We'll move into commission staff presentations, updates, and reports. So, as I understand, we're going to be tabling the statistics report until the next meeting. So if there's anything else from the Sheriff's Department? No? Okay. Let's see, California Highway Patrol?
Good morning, Chairman Mercy and Commissioners. I wanted to start off just by discussing our staffing. Currently, we have 51 uniformed employees, 44 officers, 5 sergeants. At present, we have 0 lieutenants and myself. And as discussed in the previous meeting, we have 3 trainees that are going through the process now, one of which should be getting off here within the next month, and the other 2 have quite a ways to go. Last Friday, my lieutenant, Tim Jacobson, had a retirement party at our office. So I just wanted to publicly thank the chief of police for Lancaster and all the representatives from our various state personnel that came out and helped them celebrate. So that was a fantastic event.
Wonderful.
Okay. I just wanted to briefly explain this before we get going into the statistics. All the area in pink that is around the city of Lancaster is CHP jurisdiction. We break that jurisdiction into something that we call beats. So you can see beat 12 is the 138. The area beat 01 kind of wraps around the north part, the surrounding part of Lancaster. And then beat 2 is surrounding the southern part. Beat 6 is Quartz Hill. And then the line beats that go straight through the city of Lancaster, that is beat 21, and beat 11, that is the freeway, the 14 freeway. And I just wanted to kind of give you a visual of that before I move on to the statistics. So we've got overall statistics for the 1,400 miles that we cover in the CHP Antelope Valley area. And then what I did, because I wanted to tailor this to Lancaster, is I queried the statistical numbers in the area beats either through the city of Lancaster or immediately surrounding Lancaster. So I'm kind of tailoring these to you specifically. So when I say that there was a total last year from January 1, 25 to December 31st, there was 8,345 citations issued. That's not the total for the CHP Antelope Valley. That's the total either through the city of Lancaster or the adjacent areas right around there. The top 5 citations seem to always bubble up to the top, which is exceeding 65, exceeding 55, unregistered, uninsured, and unlicensed drivers. That's more or less what our folks are focusing on. And then I even broke it down by beat, and you can let me know if this is something that you're interested in, but beat 11 and 12, that goes straight through the city of Lancaster. Those are the number of citations that we're writing, the number of arrests in the city or within the city limits, felony arrests, misdemeanor arrests, and so forth. If that's something that you're interested in, I can continue that as part of my presentation. Okay. This is a representation of year over year, January 1 to February 28th, 25, to February 1 January 1 to February 28th, 2026. The purpose of this is to determine whether or not we're increasing or decreasing in the specified enforcement. So for exceeding 65, for instance, in 2026, during the same time frame, we've increased from 367 citations for exceeding 65 to 537, for a 170% increase of proactive enforcement for speed. And if you just go down the list, obstructed view, you can see that we've got a negative 2% change, but this would be, for instance, for tinted windows, and it went from 136 tickets in 25 to 134 tickets. So we're only talking a marginal difference. But seatbelt enforcement is up, exceeding 55 miles an hour is up 169%. Unlicensed drivers up 32%. These are the violations that we're really interested in going after anyway. What causes serious injuries and fatal traffic accidents? So speed, unbelted drivers, impaired drivers, things of that nature. And again, these statistics are Lancaster or Lancaster adjacent statistics. Fatal traffic collisions. In 2025, we had 47 fatal traffic collisions within the Antelope Valley area jurisdiction. 15 of those were in or about Lancaster. In 2026, we have 2 from January 1 to February 28th. Now, if we look historically, from 2022 to present, we roughly had 42 in 2022, and you can read all the way down. We had a spike in 2025 at 47 fatal traffic collisions for the area overall. Over to the right is the Lancaster adjacent fatality numbers. So it's 16, 17, 10, and 15. So we talked about my strategic plan the last 2 months of my objective to lower fatal traffic collisions, increase DUI enforcement, increase speed enforcement, and those things. So that my goal for fatal traffic collisions was to reduce it to 42 overall. Lancaster so far has 2, and I'll come up with a Lancaster adjacent goal, but hopefully we're on track to meet that objective at 42 or less. This screenshot is just so you can get a glimpse of what I look at when I'm considering how I'm going to deploy my resources. This is a complete snapshot of our fatal traffic collision figure in 2025, where we had 15 fatal accidents. And you can see along the freeway, we had 486 property damage only accidents, and that's the green dots. And pretty much we've had an accident on every inch of the 14 freeway. But also in the analytics, you can see that it tells me how many crashes we've had, what day of the week it was, and what time of the day it was, and what the primary collision factor was. So I can really kind of tailor the resources that we do have, tailor the beats and responsibilities, the start time frames, our shifts, all based on this information. And then here is year-to-date, encompassing January and February, where we had 2 fatal traffic collisions thus far, 64 property damage only collisions, and once again, it'll tell me exactly where they're occurring, the day of the week, and the time of the day, and what caused them. You have all this information. I saw that the brackets were printed out. Okay, so once again, the objective that I've set as far as our primary objective to reduce fatal and serious traffic crashes is to reduce that overall fatal traffic crash picture from 47 to 42, which is a 10% reduction. Increase the DUI arrests 5%. Increase our special enforcement units that go out there from 5 to 8. And then overall increase our speed enforcement and our seatbelt enforcement, which were both all up. Whether or not we're talking about overall numbers or just Lancaster adjacent numbers, all those numbers are up thus far. So when I speak to my troops daily, this is what I'm focusing on. I like to focus on in-view patrol, because I believe that there's no greater deterrent to crime and crashes than the presence of a uniformed officer. We want to focus on what matters: speed, seatbelt, and DUI. Since I came on the job in '99, the sergeant told me, hey, go out there and look for seatbelt, speed, and DUI. And I was like, hey, okay. I wasn't even concerned with the why. But the why is because that's what causes fatal traffic collisions. That's what causes serious injury traffic collisions. So I tell the guys daily to focus their attention on those behaviors that we know cause those types of collisions. And then we talk about ensuring beat accountability. So in the morning, when we assign our officers, they're going to get assigned to one of those beats that was depicted on that first graph. And then once they have that beat, my expectation is that they're going to stay on that beat, be a visible presence, and stay out there all day throughout their shift, not be back at the office or somewhere else. So it's important that we're visible and that we're out there on the beat. Enforcement campaigns, so far we've got 6 campaigns on the schedule for 2026. That's up from 4 from last year. So I will report on those as they happen, and then I'll give you an after-action report how we did, so you have an idea. And then community engagement. Successful policing must include input from the community. So I've directed command's efforts to identify the local needs of the communities and frequently engage with the stakeholders. I've attended pretty much every meeting, every local town council meeting that I am aware of in the last month and a half or two. Some of them have never seen a highway patrolman, so, or a highway patrol captain there. But I just want to make sure that I get a sense of what the needs of each specific community is, whether it's Pear Blossom, Little Rock, Acton, Lancaster, just so I can get a sense of what they need from us and then what we can provide for them. And with that, if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. Yes, sir.
I'm sort of curious, is there a anticipated role for drones in the department's future?
Yes, they are looking at drones right now. Southern Division has been allocated 2. From what I understand, they're quite expensive. Our folks need to go through a specified class, get a license, and then I'm not quite sure how they're going to allocate them. It may be dependent on how many officers show interest in getting their license to operate a drone. At present, I will say that the Lancaster Police Department has been more than generous. They've got an amazing drone program, and if I feel confident that if I needed a drone, and it would just take a phone call and they would have one up for us, I don't think it'd be much more than that. So to answer your question directly, yes, we're considering drones. They're very expensive. We're statewide. So far, our Southern Division's been allocated 2, and we'll see if we end up with one in Antelope Valley.
How would they be used? How would they be used?
Oh, boy, I can tell you that how they were used in my former command. Let's say there's a fatal traffic collision, rather than have our officers out there with tape measures and fiberglass tape and so forth for hours and hours collecting physical evidence. We can send a drone up in a specified distance with specified software, fly the scene, and it would basically generate a 2-scale representative of exactly what was there. You could wrap that up in, 30 minutes rather than 4 or 5 hours of keeping that roadway closed down. That right there would be gold.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I just want to make a comment. Thank you so much for this report. I love the statistics on here, so thank you for this. And as we spoke outside, I have seen an increase of presence on the freeway, so that's very much appreciative. What have you, on the 14 freeway, since we're still dealing with the construction and the work that's going on, has anything improved for you guys? Has it gotten worse as far as the people driving on during that time?
I don't think it's gotten worse, but I don't know that it's necessarily improved either. Okay. The 14 freeway, the construction on it obviously pushes traffic that off onto our service streets through Acton and through other areas of East Lancaster, through Palmdale and so forth. And the speeds and the driving behaviors on the surface streets, I think, are worse as a result of the influx in traffic as a result of the construction. So I think we're all looking forward to that this freeway project get wrapped up.
Yes. All right, thank you so much.
Are these figures we get every month?
Well, that's the thing, and I would love it if you could tell me what figures you're interested in and what figures are not important to you, and then I will make sure I tailor it to
Yeah,
that.
that'd be great if we could get copies of what you get. proposed this morning, and then we can get copies of that and bring it back. Would that
I
be-
emailed the PowerPoint. Feel free to share that with
Oh,
everyone.
did I? Oh, I'm sorry, I do have.
And they're
it.
all
I
here.
apologize.
So all.
Sorry, sorry, Howard.
All that would be required is you guys let me know, like, hey, we're a little less interested in this, we're a little bit more interested in
No, it's
that, and
great.
I'll tailor it to you.
No, it's great information. That's fantastic.
Yeah, I think it's,
agree
I
with-
think it's
I
perfect
agree
the way
with
it
Nicole.
is.
Yeah, it's fantastic
Yeah.
stuff.
Fantastic. Any other questions?
When do your new recruits start?
Do we have anyone in this next class?
The next academy class, we did not get any allocated officers from the class that will be graduating on April 10th.
Oh, okay.
But we do currently have 3 trainees on training right now. They
Great.
should be on training within the next couple months.
Okay, perfect, thank you.
Just, on your, staffing formula, should you have lieutenants?
Well, yes, but what happens is when a lieutenant, there's cycles, promotional cycles and so forth. And when we have someone retire, we have to wait for the next cycle for that person to be backfilled. So at present, I'm anticipating maybe getting a lieutenant July 1.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And yes, this is great information. Really appreciate it. And all the work you and your officers are doing.
Thank you. I'll bring that sentiment back to the team.
Thank you. District Attorney?
Good morning. I have a question for you all. I know that normally the DA's office, we present our monthly filing statistics, and that's what I have for you today. But if there is something in addition to filing statistics that you'd like me or my office to present, I'd be happy to do that. So please let me know, and I can try to put something together for you.
Okay.
All right. All right, so with that, I'll turn to our filing statistics for the month of February. These are felony filing statistics for the city of Lancaster. The only misdemeanor case category that's included are our violations of criminal protective orders and restraining orders. In February, we did not file any arson cases. We declined 1. Auto thefts, we filed 5 felony cases. We declined 3. Burglaries, including both residential and commercial burglaries, there were 6 felony filings and 6 declines. Criminal threats, we filed 7, declined 2. Drug sales, there were 3 felony filings and 1 decline. Domestic violence, we filed 8 felony cases and declined to file 10. Felony evading and felony hit and run, we filed 2 cases, declined 1. Felony assaults, there were 10 felony filings and 3 declines. DUI, there were 5 felony DUIs filed, 3 declined. Grand thefts and identity theft cases, there were 6 new felony filings and 1 decline. Illegal firearms and other illegal weapons, 9 cases were filed, 2 declined. Murders or attempted murders, and I believe the case that's represented here, we filed 1, that was an attempted murder. We declined to file 1. Robberies, there were 9 filings, 5 declines. Sex crimes, 6 new filings, 3 declines. Felony vandalism, 5 filings and 3 declines. With our violations of protective orders, there were 14 case filings and 14 declines. All right. Any questions?
I find that very valuable, and I appreciate you doing that. I'd be more interested, or in addition to your interpretation, what's that mean? What are we learning about what's happening in the Antelope Valley? Is there a change in the rate of interpersonal conflict? Is there a change in the domestic disputes? Things of that nature. For example, murder. I think you guys make a distinction between whether the victim is known to the suspect or not known. So that kind of stuff, I'd be interested in your view on what all this means to you.
And also, that's great, Dr. Brown, also to your caseload. In the past, you were working at about 100 hours a week, if I remember right.
Right, our
And your
caseload's
staff,
high.
and your staff and everything else, 8 days a week. And it'd be nice to know where you're at on that with with what you're doing now, what your caseload's like? Are you catching up on it?
All
Is
right,
it-
I can
yeah.
definitely share that information. I can tell you, I did a presentation for the district attorney last week, and it did not include our filing statistics for a specific month, but we had close to 2,200 open pending cases in the courthouse that our attorneys are handling, and that we have 25 attorneys handling that number of cases.
Incredible,
Yeah.
incredible. Yeah, I mean, what you guys do is incredible work, so.
Thank you. And
Can't
I-
thank you guys enough.
Thank you very much.
I understand that. It would be great to know how much pressure you guys are under and how many cases you're dealing with constantly, all this.
I can provide that at the
Yeah.
next meeting.
And are you getting any new attorneys added?
So we are constantly cycling through our attorneys. I just received a phone call from my bureau director this morning. We have a new person coming in, but we're also losing a person. So generally what's happening is it's a one-for-one type of situation. We're very rarely up where they're adding new personnel. People are transferring out while we're getting new people in.
So it's not necessarily retirement as much as just transferring out of this area?
That's part of it. We have one individual, he, I believe, will be making it to the judicial bench very soon. So when he leaves, you know, there's that attrition there. But ordinarily, it's just transfers rather than us losing attorneys.
Do we find ourselves losing attorneys because they don't want to be living here? Or is it just a matter of promotions and recycling?
I think it's a matter of promotions and recycling people through the office. There are other opportunities within the office. We have special units that people are interested in. And I know that people are transferred so that they can get just more experience in other areas so that they have that broader range of experience.
When you make the comment, you lose a person, you gain a person, it's not a 50-50. In other words, what you're losing is an experienced person who knows their way around, and you're getting a person for whom the office is at least in the beginning, bewildering, and you know which judges you can get away with what. And then I think there's also a certain amount of pressure, and I may be wrong about this, as you get more inundated, the pressure, the calculus to whether to settle a case or not changes.
It does.
So that if when you're really getting hammered, you might let somebody take a lesser plea than if you've got time to pursue it to the full extent. I'm just guessing.
That does
at
happen
this.
on occasion, although we always take public safety into consideration. So where we might shave a few months or a year or so off of a sentence in order to incentivize a plea on a case, we're always looking at the dangerousness of that individual and whether that person can be rehabilitated in the community. So even though that might be the case, that we make some adjustments for our offers to resolve cases, public safety is always up at the top of the equation or the calculus.
The statistics, for example, are pretty cut and dried, but it would be fun if you came in and said, I got good news and bad news. Here's what's happening that we're happy about, and here's what's happening that we're sad about and worried about, and so on. I'd be real interested in that.
All right.
One last question. Am I correct? This sounds crazy, but with basically 25 attorneys, each attorney has a caseload of roughly 80 to 90 cases?
Well, it doesn't quite work that way. For example, I don't have any cases, and our assistant head deputy, we're included in the number 25, so we don't have any of our own cases. Each individual attorney may only have a special caseload of, and it really varies between 5, depending on that person's assignment within the office, and 20 or 25 cases. And then we have people that are considered calendar DAs. They run a courtroom, and hundreds of cases are cycled through that courtroom. So most of those cases are resolved very easily without a trial. The trials then are assigned to other people. The more serious cases, those are the ones that make up caseloads, and that's that number that I identified between 5 and 25. So our felony calendar DAs, they run our felony courtrooms. While they manage a full-time caseload, they may have 5 murder cases that they're specially assigned to and handling. Our misdemeanor DAs have fewer of those specially assigned cases, and they're also handling a misdemeanor calendar court.
So out of that 20-something hundred cases, that's all total?
That's total misdemeanor and felony,
Everything.
and that's between both Palmdale and Lancaster.
Okay, so we would
Yeah.
know, I think that'd be good to know that out of that 2,500, whatever it may be, half those, three-quarters of those could be
Correct.
cycled real
And
fast.
and I'm able to get those numbers and
That'd be
break it
great,
down.
that'd be good, yeah.
All right.
Just one last question. I remember a couple of years ago, I attended I want to say it was like a rehabilitation graduation class at the courthouse. Do you guys still hold those, and how is that working out?
We do. That, I believe, it's Department A16. That's our collaborative court where they hold drug court, veterans court, and mental health court. And we do graduations quarterly out of that court. Generally, each graduation, they have between 20 and 30 graduates. I think the program is very, very successful. We do have some people that are not able to graduate, and they're ultimately sentenced on their cases.
Okay.
It may take a year or longer to graduate because, you know, with drug addiction, you often have relapses, but people are given time to complete their programs. And I know that the judge there, McLaughlin Bennett, is very, very proud of the program that she runs there, and we have seen that it's very successful.
Good, great, thank you.
You're welcome.
I have a quick question about the domestic violence case.
Yes.
You declined more than what you filed on the month of February. That means that number is a carryover from previous months?
With the, no, with the declines, it could be several things. It could be that we have requested further investigation on those cases, and so those would carry over into the next month, and we may end up filing those cases if we gather enough evidence to make that a fileable case. And that really, when we're looking at whether it's fileable or not, we're looking at whether we can prove it beyond a reasonable doubt in court. So oftentimes on domestic violence cases, if we look at them initially and the evidence is insufficient, we'll ask for further. Some cases, we don't believe that we can gather any additional evidence, and it's just declined outright, and so that would be the conclusion of that case. What you also see in some domestic violence cases is that, sadly, there may be another incident of violence, and when we see that, that could revive one of those cases that was declined because we can combine them, because the two cases combined makes the previously declined case stronger. And so there is, you will see that some cases are revived down the line. And I hope that answers your question.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you very much. Okay, next up, we have the LPD, Public Safety.
I'll keep it short. Good morning. We have 13 officers who have made it through the interview process and are moving on in our process. That's
Fantastic.
all we have to report.
So is that the total, or is that 13 new?
That'll be 13 new that are in process.
What will the total be at that point?
Well, we're hiring 18.
Okay. Great, thank you. Elected office update. I see we have Senator Valladares' office.
Perfect. Good morning, everybody. Thomas Marino from Senator Valladares' office. Good to see everyone this year. I have 3 bills that I want to talk about really quick to do with public safety that the senator has introduced. The first one being SB 1022, which is her Human Trafficking Task Force bill. This establishes a human trafficking task force to evaluate state and local programs relating to human trafficking, to try to get everyone on the same page and working together instead of some agencies accidentally working against another agency or local group. So we're doing that bill, hoping that one gets passed. Then we have SB 1230, which is her illegal dumping bill. This just strengthens any kind of fines for repeat offenders, while also designating CalRecycle as the lead state agency for cities and counties addressing illegal dumping. This is great for our rural communities in eastern Antelope Valley, especially. And then we have SB 1395, which is a bill that she brought forth last year. but unfortunately, the supermajority blocked it. It is called Cayley's Law. This allows judges the discretion to issue a lifetime injunction against a defendant at the time of sentencing for a registrable sex offense involving a minor victim. This one, like I said, we tried to pass last year. It got stalled in committee, so we're hoping to get it through this year. But yeah, those are 3 bills that are public safety oriented right now. And if there is any updates, I'll bring one next month. Any questions?
Yeah, I do. And do you have any update on the mileage tax?
No update, because that's, I believe, 1421. There's about 30 days before any bill can be acted upon. So she is majorly against that bill, especially with our community and all of our commuters. So I can tell you she is firmly against it and is going to do everything she can to stop it.
So more likely it's not going to pass. Is that what you're looking at?
That's what we're hoping. I can't say exactly
I hope so too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a horrible bill, especially for our community where we have such a commuter-oriented constituency. So, yeah.
All right, thank you.
Any other questions?
Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, guys.
Okay. I didn't see anyone else, okay. Well then, we will move on to public business. Wait, hold on, make sure I'm in the right spot on the, yes, public business from the floor, non-agendized items.
This is the time to address the Lancaster Criminal Justice Commission on non-agendized matters. Speaker cards can be found on the back table of the council chambers. Individual speakers are limited to 3 minutes each unless a different time limit is announced. State law prohibits the commission from taking action on items not listed on the agenda. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. First up, we have David Paul.
Chair Mercy, Vice Chair Little, and Commissioners, good morning. You know, I'm sitting there thinking why I enjoy coming here so much, even though I hear things sometimes that distress me. And I just want you all to know it's refreshing to be in a room with competent people who are trying to make a difference in a crazy world that no one can make sense of. So I appreciate that. My district attorney friend, that was a very nice talk today, and when you talked about, I don't know, with the restraining orders at the end, 14 were brought and none were filed, you know, those kinds of things make me know that there's more to the story, and that's what I think Dr. Brown was talking about. It's fun to illuminate those things, so I appreciate everything you said, and it does help everybody understand the complexity of it all a little better. I wanted to tell our Lancaster Police Department, I was out last week and I saw 3 or 4 motor officers making stops on J and 15th, and you know, every time I see that, okay, good job. And CHP Captain, thank you. That was a great, you didn't oversell your PowerPoint. Those are critical things to understand, and I appreciate all of it. You know, there's sometimes stuff doesn't make sense, and we just have to figure out what can help. And the only thing I find is that we are all in this together, and the more we know it, the better it is for everybody, because despite the challenges and the limitations, and sometimes you wonder why they do that, if it's explained, it makes it a little easier to comprehend. But that's all. I come here to support you guys and to feel like there's something working in the right direction in this world. So thank you all, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you, sir. Have a good day. Anita Bordelmay.
Me again. State's evidence that, again, I'm the victim of a human trafficking from Florida with a guy named Frenchie, who followed me to California to sexually assault my children. My neighbors set me up criminally. So right before they threatened to come to my house, I let Rex Paris know that they were threatening to put me in jail illegally. Rex Paris' son, using my identity under Anita Nichols, all illegal. So there you go with your criminal cases. We know, in my opinion, that you really don't want to do all of your job, but I was in a major car accident. I was here last night. It was really a beautiful meeting. My thing is this, the judge stole all this evidence. Ever since I've been being attacked in my car, I've been raped by on-duty cops in Bakersfield. They tried to murder my daughter. They're using illegal names. I have not settled my car accident. I was flipped in a car. I'm still waiting for my lawyers to contact me. They are not Jacoby and Myers. While Avada's family is using my identity with Infinity, they've been reported to the DMV in LA County and Bakersfield. They murdered a federal officer in Beatty, Nevada, and if you want murders, I can give them to you. But that's why I was sentenced illegally. After 10 months of reporting these people, Judge Gorbachev and Ebbets are both really dirty judges, and I would love to testify against them. You should see what they made the bailiff do to me. Rearrest me illegally and then threaten that he was going to force me to plead, telling me that how well he knows the law. And this is after I filed lawsuits against the city. I guess it's wrong to tell the city that you're going to sue them because then they retaliate. I want justice for my daughters. Every single one of my daughters have been prosecuted illegally. In front of me, cops have told me, we're not going to give you trials. We're going to force you to plea. All because of Conrad Torres and Norma Salvia family. I had a relative working for Internal Affairs. At the time, me and my children were prosecuted. He moved to Texas. Joe Sweet from Shekinah Worship Center let his son steal one of my dogs. Oh man, the prosperity of these people. I have nothing against churches that do it the right way, but they've stolen enough money and jewelry. Rick's Pawn Shop is going to be sued. I would like to see justice instead of cops coming back to my car on and off duty and beating me up, cutting my eyelashes, and telling me that I can't see. So I'm going to leave you the evidence, and then maybe they'll do something about it. Excuse me, I don't want to consider a threat.
Okay, we have no other speaker cards. Commissioner comments? Okay, then having reached the end of the meeting, we will adjourn to our next meeting Wednesday, May 13th at 10 a.m. If there's no objections, hearing none, we're adjourned. So there is no April meeting. Yep. Okay, thanks everybody.